Good evening. How is everybody this morning, and have you had lunch yet? Good. This first message is going out to Kathy Jurado, and I could say a whole lot about that. But be happy to be yourself. If others don't like it, then let them be. Let them be the way they are. Everyone has their own choices. Life isn't about pleasing everybody else. Well, you see, the problem with that is I don't have to please my mother and I don't have to please my father, but I just can't have them screaming at me all the time. Can't please my son all the time because no matter how much you please them, you haven't pleased them all the way unless you follow every order that they say. That would be pleasing them. The minute you don't follow an order of what somebody else's thoughts are, you have now displeased the other folk. So now you got to make them happy. You go to work during the day, and by mistake you say, "Oh, good morning. Wow, you look nice today." And all of a sudden she's calling the cops and saying, "This guy is cruising me, he's after me, he's this." They don't want us together, they want us apart. They're teaching us so many different languages to speak in courts just so we can never be the same and come home and say, "Dear, I almost won the court case, but I couldn't figure out what that new definition was because Webster's didn't own it anymore." Oh my God, this is the craziest thing I see right now. Take a look at this dog on my wall. He's got this purplish gray beak. I have to show you this. I don't know if you're going to see this. Oh my God. Do you see that? I'm going to make it go closer. There's a black spot right there. You gotta check this out when I move the camera closer. Let me see. You see that? You see the sort of hold on, let me get my finger out there. Where's my finger? See the beak right there? And then the eyes? It's crazy. It's crazy. It looks like the dog with his ears. You see that little thing next to him? Right there. See the mouth at the bottom with the tongue on fire, with the two eyes, with the hair? You know what's funny about today? Is that I just found out that even if I made the mistake, it gave me the thought that on the Canadian quarter, it's a reindeer and it's not a moose. So why am I always talking about mooses? They're not mices. They're not mice. They're a lot bigger than mice. Squeak. It's pretty crazy. They just moose, mice. I mean, sometimes they switch around the word, so you're supposed to say mice. How do you say mices? Many mice? There's a mouse in my room, but there's many mice. Okay, change the house, moose, house. Mouse, it's almost spelled the same way. I got a mouse in my house. Where am I trying to go with this? I'm playing words for right now. I told somebody we're vegetables. We were grown out of the garden. Well, how do you want to figure out our texture? What do you think our texture comes from a rock? Our texture comes from the skin of a fine herb or vegetable in the garden. That's why these vegetables, they pass into our system and they work so good, the natural flowers of the earth and our bodies. Of course we're vegetables. We're animal, we're vegetable. We grew out of the ground. When you get the yellow, you go pee. Oh, I got to do a yellow one. Okay, number one. So if you're number one, let's call God yellow. Good. Number 29 or 92, that's also yellow. 2 and 9 is the earliest single-digit addition you can make between two that will reach 1111, and 11 times 11 is 121. 2 times 9 is 18. Resident angel. It's us. Out of an egg. A created egg. I mean, obviously, the first two things would be the sperm and the egg, wouldn't it? It ain't you. Creation, what comes from the 1 and 2, sits in 4 in the house of 4, because it's E-I-E-I-O, because it's 13 or 1539. In 1539, the Aztec Mayans, who of course we're all discussing about Nibiru, but it was under a different name back then. See, Nibiru's been around forever. It's been under different names. Did we just discover it now? The name? Well, for me, yes, but for many others, it's not the same. Would you like to see the time of AC/DC? This is AC/DC. Excuse me. Here's your A. Here's your D. Here's your C. Or look, take a really good look on the inside. It's a number 5. You see the C is only on this side? And this, if you want, can spin around like this. You see my Budweiser bow tie? That's the way we connect numbers on the telephone graphics. Same thing, same setup as this. See the lines in between? All these lines in between? If you take a look, they make 1, 2, 3, 4 over 3. Now, what does it mean, 4 over 3? Well, in roulette, you have 3 over 3 over 3, making 9 per section. 2 sections equal 18 is the first 18. They couple that bet together, you get the first 18. And I don't want to talk about that. So now if you take a look, you got D, you got C, and you got 1, DAC, which actually, if you take a look, which would be 4, and 4 on 1 on this side would be 5. But now we're not running by the Roman numeral selection. So we're going to work with D, 500. And if we look at it this way, 515, which way are we going to look at this? You see, if I put it exactly on the squares, I would be able to tell you exactly. See, the way it is now, it's actually saying, just look at the blue. 1, and then look at the other blue. Same design, 55. And I can show you how 55 works. If I can remember it all at one time, there's just so much. What am I supposed to do? Do a 15-hour video and then do part 10? I sat here yesterday from 5 o'clock in the afternoon until 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, making 2 videos and writing and writing and writing. I mean, it's almost like what I went out to do today. You know, I don't even think most people will get to this part. But the first part I want to say, that before I forget, I'm going to say this maybe 10 more times in all my videos, even though I'm switching off subject right now, is happy birthday. You see, why I'm wishing happy birthday and why I'm quite sure, and I might be off, is because if you're born, okay, after September, was it 30th, and I just make the cut, in the school year, you don't get to come in until the next year. So like, if that's what it was, the September 30th, right, and I'm on October 4th, and it was a weekend when I was born, so October 4th would have been the first day, and I guess I missed the cut. So happy birthday. We're all 50 years old, man. Marna, Stephen Goldberg. Can I say your last name? You went to Chamonix High. What do you want me to tell you? Jason Schmelzer, which is almost like saying the Jetsons. Jason? Jetson? Well, in Jetson, it's son. Jason, it's son. With J, it's A-Y. 30, part of creation. But Jetson is the entertainment tonight. E.T., extraterrestrial, E-time, E-world time. The Jetsons, don't you remember? They were hanging in the sky, but you really never saw what was below? Were the Jetsons before? Or are they telling us that Earth is being hung by a globe? Happy birthday to you. Boy, I jump around so fast. That's okay. Danny S., Ian Schachter, Michael, no, he won't have one until next year. Alan Wall, and you can figure out the rest if you want to. Who else is there? Jamie Gilsick, was he in our school at the time? Happy birthday anyways. Wow. Shemtov, Ronnie, Ronald Shemtov. He used to be Ronald. I called myself Ronnie. Now I'm calling myself Ronald, and I see his name on the internet one time, and I'm not sure, oh my God, he changed his name to Ronnie, and I'm Ronnie. Am I Ronald or Ronnie? What's the difference? Everybody does know one thing. 11 and 13, after you figured it out, do you know what it is? Besides MK? Don't remember. I don't like this video, but so we have the Jetsons. Oh, and then we have Jughead. Or why don't we just say Judge? The head judge, Jughead, the head judge. Not only that, what I want to say, and we said Jetsons, one is AY, one is ET versus AY. I mean, it's some kind of Thai food, I think. But anyways, we all know Jason is July, August, September, October, November, December, starting in January again. J, and J, and J. Right on. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Spacely sprockets. How about astrophysics? Or George Jetson's the dog. George Jetson, oh no! We're coming back in time. I can see it now. The Jetsons are flying in from the sky, and it's Elroy. Elroy is the wing of the king. It's one of the wings of the king, and his dog astrophysics. And was his daughter Jane? Oh my God, Dino, what are you doing outside? Are you still playing with Barney Rubble and Stones, and no one's a stoner, and the Rolling Stones with the Beatles from the new movies of the mummies? 10520, Jedson. The way to spell it is 10520, 2015. Jetsons. 10-5-20. Jet. I don't know if JT or TJ, but this is Jet. Son, okay, is 19 and 15 is 34. And 14 is 48. 14 and 15 is 29. 39, 48. 12, 12, 12, and 12. It also stands for double D is space. So we did the woman thing. We did the L, which is an L letter, is also the same way in chess. How a horse moves. Well, I better change the way I am. I think I saw a friend of mine. He wants me to be different online. I shouldn't act like this. I should believe everything everybody else says. But you know what I say? I say the earth is floating in the air with some kind of pressured air. And if that ain't true and no one believes that, then I definitely believe it. Because I want to believe different from everybody. Eventually, they're not always going to be right, and that means any small find is a big find when it comes to science. So everybody be the opposite of me, and I'm definitely going to be right. Because whatever's wrong, it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. But whatever's right, we can work on for the future. Dig in and let's go forward before, hold on a second. We've seen Spacely from Spacely Sprockets, Space Ace. But you know who we're looking for next? Flintstone! Who's his boss? His boss. Let me see. Do I have his boss written down? Oh, I did go to work today, but I have to write down everything, I think, right? We got astrophysics, George Jetson. We have Wilma. We have to, I can break that down. Of course, I can take apart. I mean, look what they did. They went back 10,000 years and they added a few things that were missing in history. I mean, how do you know we weren't controlled and all those stones for the Mayan and the pyramids weren't lifted by dinosaurs of some sort? And not only that, what do you mean not only that? Who are you talking to? Okay, just talking to me. Okay. So not only that, how do we know they didn't build the pyramids under the water? I don't know, maybe they were fish before of some sort. So now we have to figure out where is that? Where is that? We have George, who's the boss of, who did he work for? Who did Fred work for? Anyways, we have Reggie Van Gogh. He was a pig all about money. Go and Monopoly, Reggie Van Gogh, made to be this way. Man was made to be this way. Are you kidding? Every time I get out of my house and I get into my car and drive 100 miles near any place in the city and around the city, I always see mean drivers. And I don't want to put up with this because they come in all shapes and sizes, but I've noticed that a lot of 20-year-olds are very arrogant. And those who are different to our society that came in from somebody else, nobody's learning how to drive and have etiquette. And there's someone that I know personally that continues to drive in the outside lane. There's someone I know purposely that doesn't understand that when you drive 175 kilometers or an hour, which is 110 miles an hour, don't expect people to see you and just to jump out of the way, because people are not like that. Secondly, some people might get out of the way, and you might just be able to be moving over to go around them, and they hit you. Then they blame it on you. What's his name? Stone? Mr. Stone? No, Stone. I have to, let me see what I have on here. This was something else. I just seemed to get that. I had an idea and I was in the washroom. Twin Towers, 911. Well, the Twin Towers, everybody knows. It creates the mathematical vision of pi. But what I do want to show you is I'm going to show you a baseball to start with, and I'm going to take that baseball and turn it into a basketball. Oh, I'm magic. Didn't you know that? I take a baseball and turn it into a basketball. All I use is my mouth. But before we do that, Chamonix Polyvalent High School. 33 years ago, we were almost the age of 16 and 17. 33 years, the number they say that Christ was on the earth. Now, when we had the liberty of the high school, of the higher up, we are now 50. And we have all reached the area of where Jesus has reached. He must have had 17 years of knowledge piled into that couple of years that he was around. I don't know how it works, but it doesn't matter. We're 50. And I remember one of my teachers, or one of the principals, Mr. Finney, and he used to walk in the middle of the hallway. And I wasn't moving. I wasn't moving. He ain't no better than me. I stood in the middle of the hallway, and he walked right into me. And I said to him, or he said to me first, or I said to him first, I go, can't you watch where you're walking? He goes, what'd you say? I go, what? I don't remember. The day after, or 2 days later, it happened again. And I says, oh, you don't remember? I go, you have no more right to hit me or bump into me, or I should move for you than anybody else. So I got suspended. About a month later, coming into the month of March, just before I was laid off for the rest of the school year, I was going out for a Big Mac. And he came to me and told me, I can't go. And I told him, I have a Big Mac attack, and I gotta go. What's with all this bossing? Doesn't anybody teach to respect? How do you want a child to respect? They see by the time a child is 2 years old, they're watching you. Not only are they watching you, if they don't pick up, they get part of Matrix. Anyway, so here it is. This is a baseball and a basketball. Once this goes all the way around, and then the one on this side, they wrap. This one wraps on this side, this one wraps on this side. Here's your wrap of 4, 5, and 6. Here's the 2, 5, and 6, 4, 5, and 8, 4, 8. And this 5, 8, and this 5, and this 5, and this 8 are 13 and 13, and 13, and 13, and 13, which is 39, which is all about the 7th inning stretch, and I can't really explain, but 13 equals 3 and 4, which equals 12, which equals 7, which equals 19, which equals 1 times 9, and 1 plus 9 is 10 and 9, and now you're having the deck of cards, the 9 and the 10 cards together, in which when you overlap them, 4 of the areas in between the 9 and the 10, 4 will automatically disappear. So you take the 4 out, because they're on the top 2 corners and the bottom 2 corners. And from 10 and 9, you now have 15. Now you have the egg of life. So this would be the baseball, and this is the numbers that would go into the baseball. There's a stretch over here, and there's a stretch over here, a distance to wrap together. But if you take a look, this design is the alpha omega signs that it comes together. Just to show something that just really quick, sank, cat. This means 5 and 4. It means it. Sank, you can sink anything, it's the ank. And in French it says sank. It ends with a Q. Anyways, I don't want to get into that. So we're going to put this on the side here. Then I want to show you something else. Here's another little design. This is the Mayan Sanskrit. Okay, there's many ways for the Mayan Sanskrit to go. Okay, this is the way I set it up. If I would set this up on a telephone, this would say 1, 5, 6. This on a telephone will say 3, 5, 7. I mean, there's many ways to do it. And here is your chalice in between that spins. And if you want to design the rest of it, you want to round it out, I'm just putting it and one of the other ways is here is your triangle, and from your triangle you have different slots that it fits into. And I'm not sure how this goes, but can you see the square? Okay, this is turned inside on an angle. So you got your four corners here and four corners here, just the same way as if you turn Rubik's Cube. The other thing I wanted to mention here, you see this angle? It's right over here. This one, this one, this one, and this one. It makes the hat. I just want to see if I have it on the other page so I can show it to you a little bit better. No, I don't. I'm just, because I want to put these books away. They've been out for a while. I got too many books on the counter. Have you ever seen this before? Well, we can give this to numbers. And this would be the part of the Kabbalah. The other part, I'm going to jump on here. 1, 4, 7 in between is 2, 3, 5, 6. 2, 3 creates 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 5, 6 creates 41. 4 and 1 is 5. 2 times 5, 2 plus 5 equals 17. 17 is that Q, something, a letter to go. The Q ball, the Q letter. They use Q when they say 80 in French. They end with a Q when you say 5 in French. It's 5. All 4s are Qs. Any 4 times 17 equals 68. 68 is the expression of I am 6. It's the 6 card and the 8 card. I'll have to figure it out a little bit better before I start explaining it. Although I do know in a certain fashion, or facet, I don't know it enough to be able to say, okay, I'm sure. But I'm so sure because there's so many ways it can be explained. But there's only real fixed way that one day, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. 3 times 1, 3. 3 by 4 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. 3 by 7 is 21, 2 and 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 by 5 is 15, 1 and 5 is 6. 3 by 8 is 24, 2 and 4 is 6. 3 by 3 is 9. 3 times 6 is 18, 1 and 8 is 9. 3 by 9 is 27, 2 and 7 is 9. So 1 and 8 and 2 and 7 are counted here. Let me mark that down and then explain it, because that I can explain. This is 18 and 27. So what actually I'm doing here is when we work on the number of pi, we multiply everything by 3 in pi. And when you multiply everything on 3 in pi, if you notice, all these numbers times 3 to 1 digit was a total of 3. All this was a total of 6. All this was a total of 9. So now we have 1 and 8, 2 and 7. That create 3 by 3 is 9, excuse me. We have 9, 18, 27, 45 is 54. The total is 54, all the cards plus the jokers. So what you have now in the next one is an order 1, 9, and here you'll get 3, 6. And once you work with 3, 6, now you're using the dice cubes. So you use this outside, the creation, the rotation maybe of pi, and now inside you can use the dice cubes with the 3, 6, which is the creation resident. 3 by 6 is 18, which is 9, and 3 times 6. Now that's the same thing. 3 times 3 is 9. Right, so you end up with this one and this one again. Not this one. This one only comes up if you multiply it by the maximum. 2 times 7 is 14, letter N. 2 plus 7 is 9, letter I. 9 and 14 is 23, letter W. It says W-I-N. Just showing you in the gematria scale, these are the values. The 58 is in position 1. The 62, position 2. Position 3, position 4, position 5, position 6, position 7, position 8, position 9. Your birth, man in the heavens. This is time heaven. I'm not sure how it connects, but this is supposed to be Jupiter. You see the way the 8 is here and the 8 is here? The way the 7 is here, here, and here, because they all have connections. These 3 and these 3 all have connections. 5 and 8. See, this one has another connection, but this connection passes through here. Now, if you take 58 and 74, it's 132. 1, 2, 3, 132. How perfect does it fit? This would be 164. 1, 6, and 4 is 10. 6, 10. Okay, so we did this. I'm going to put that in the drawer. I did the same thing over here. I just multiplied each one by 3, and I ended up with those figures. 3 by 7 is 21, 2 and 1 is 3, 3 by 4. I did it to a single digit each one, and then I took 8 and completed how many ways to get to each number. 8, you get 1 in 7, and 7, you get 1 in 6, and so on and so forth. I'm not here to do the complete teaching of what I see. I'm still looking to completely learn as I go along, and we can learn this together if there's any truth in it at all. This is 50 stars on the flags, and I started out with a rectangle, just like our confused roulette table. If you notice, the numbers in the roulette table are all on these angles. They're long ways, they're rectangles. It goes 3, and instead of having a 45-degree, it's a bit slight, and you can't go from this angle to this angle on it, on the roulette wheel. Do you follow me? The size of the numbers are not the same, 3 out of 4. So I make them smaller to fit, and then I do the way they do it, and I see the difference, and I calculate it number-wise, what I can do with the lines and designs in order to see what happens. The other thing I didn't work on yet, and this is, look at number 80. It's number 74. 8 fits in the 5 position, because the 5 position in numerology is 74. And there's a few other numbers here. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save a couple of these. And I'm just going to show you this, and then I'm putting this away. See the spade? You see this part? Isn't this the part that goes to the tree so it gets its energy? Look at this. Pyramid, 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 pyramid. This is also the alpha omega. This is the top part. I don't know how it all works. I can design. I don't know what the design is always, but down the road I'm going to go, oh, that's it. And then the pots. DEF over the grill. Cooking. Hey, what's cooking? So we did that already. AC/DC. These two are good. I'm going to recalculate here. Then there's this. Did you ever see this before? This is on one of the flags. Okay, take a good look at this. If you take a look, it also tilts off to the side. It might be standing or lying down. But this is one of the flags I've seen. There's a head or something here, and he's got handcuffs on each arm. See the way we can make this work over here? This is the beginning of pi. This is only 9 per row. I'm going to do 100 of them and see where we get a repetition. Now back to CPHS and AC green. AC green, AC green, AC, 1 and 3 equals 4. Green equals 49. 49 and 4 equals 53. 5 times 3, 5 plus 3 equals 15, which is the maximum pool ball number 6. Or the 8. 8 and 6 is man of the earth. 3 and 5, C and E. Something to do with the Christ. The Christ is this big, crazy yellow energy of some sort. I like to know what happens when you mix yellow and a little bit of red or blue or something, and green and anyways. Whatever I did, I did. Did I get it all done? You know, it's funny, just to show you something else, but you couldn't understand it. The U letter totals in addition to 231, which is exactly 31, 231s, 31 and 31, 31, 13. I mean, it's so perfect. What does it mean? 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. It's the combination. It's the most simplest combination that creates life. What else is going on today? Oh, I saw big-time chemtrails today. And I saw a glare off the sun. Big glare, big time. Doesn't anybody know? Pilots, policemen, firemen, don't you know? It's not the money you're looking for. Don't you have families? Don't you see what they're doing? Don't you ask questions, or you ask no questions? But what's the big deal if you make any money at all? Because it won't be no good. when you're sitting home and you can barely breathe, or you're getting hot flashes and now you got to take leave. They're using you to plot whatever they're trying to plot. Dragging this chemtrail white smoke into the air. And then when I look into the air, I see all these sparkles coming down, and everybody thinks they're orbs. Maybe they are. But boy, oh boy, that sun there, is it shiny like anything? Oh boy, this afternoon, whoa, what else is there? What else is there? Happy 50th birthday to all the CPHS and those who went to Western Laval and all the other high schools around Montreal. In fact, wherever you're going to be 50, hey man, we're 33 years since the Christ. Next year reaches Area 51, 33 and 18. Angel resident, the command and the creation of the cross of Christ. I don't know why it works that way, but numbers, that's what I have to say. If I was going to say Moses, Moses starts with an M, 1 and 3, and O is 28, time heaven, S is 47. Oh, that's perfect. 47 and 5 is 52. Oh, that's even perfect. 52 and 19 is 71. Boy, he goes in a straight line, that guy. What a name. Wow, Moses. Give me the word. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I wish all the best for all, and all the best. We will come together in time. Time will bring us together as time has always done. Thank you for watching Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus 5775.